Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by the garden today. I just wanted to do a little update on my succulents because we've been transplanting them into terracotta pots. We've been watching the watering. So now that we're into summertime here in Florida, Central Florida, Zone 9B, they are sucking up a lot of water. We had put them on a cart here, transferred them all into terracotta pots. So my old ones, my new ones, we have a lot of new ones here as well, which we're going to go over some updates on. This one has grown so much. That one has grown so much. That one has grown. All the new ones have just outstandingly taken to these pots just beautifully. I mean, terracotta pots are just so much different than planting in plastic here in Florida. Plastic is just no good. It rots your succulents out. The roots can't cool off. Terracotta actually allows your roots to cool off a little bit and just dry out faster, you know, so your roots aren't staying wet for too long. Watering needs to be, you know, infrequent waterings, but a lot all at once. When you get into the summertime, you might notice that you need a little more water because they're sucking it up. You know, they're using up a lot of energy. My little echeveria here is flowering. You can see that little flower in the middle there. We have a lot that are actually starting to flower, which I'm so happy about. So we've been doing a lot. We put this little screen on it. I just wanted to basically show you a little picture from afar. Our thimble cactus down there, all the way on the right, is growing so big. Our little purple one, which let's go over to the other side. So my little purple one here, we've had for quite a while. We fixed root rot on it a lot. Like, this thing has rotted out so much on me because of the type of pot it was in. Now that we're in terracotta, all my plants are just like, I have a little break now, you know? I can breathe, my roots can breathe. And they're just a lot happier. So if you live in a climate where you get lots of rain, humidity, and excessive heat over 90, terracotta pots are the way to go. You can see she's growing nice and clumpy now. She's not stretching anymore. This little, I think this is a painted lady or something like that, beauty, something like that. I gotta look it up for you guys. I never know the exact name of that one, but I know she's an echeveria, and she's growing nice and compact now. My little thimble cacti is growing a lot, which is right there to the left. You can see all the little babies pushing off of it. My violet queens are acclimating good. I transplanted one, which is right above there, and then that little violet queen didn't get transplanted yet, which we gotta work on. We've been just working out in the garden, getting our succulents done because it is succulent season, and I'm gonna be growing lots of them. This is little hedgehog, or the Bulgaria sempervivum. Growing a bunch of little babies, nice and happy. So we're doing really good, you guys, and I just wanted to give you some confidence in growing succulents because I know it can be really tough. Please excuse all of that noise. It is not raining today, so everybody's mowing, trying to get the mowing done, which we have to do. It's getting so long here in the garden, but we just haven't had a break. And to protect them from the rain, I just leave them on the cart here. As you can see, I put a cart with a little shade cloth over it. It protects against just the ultraviolet rays. So it doesn't do like 50% shade, 70% shade. It just protects against the ultraviolet rays, which you can see they're doing really good. They're not burning anymore. They burned the first couple of days they were out here just because they had to acclimate into the full sun. I bring them out in the morning, let them stay out here until about 7, 8 o'clock, and I go ahead and drag them inside. We have so many updates here, you guys. So many things have been getting so big. Let me see if I can get a hang on this camera for you. We have this little California sunset growing really good. She's a trailing succulent, so she's doing well. I'm so happy the way she's growing. And then we have our little, you know, echeverias here, our sedum echeverias, getting really big. You can see how gorgeous they are. And you just want to make sure them bottom leaves are not starting to deflate or feel mushy. If you feel mushy on the bottom of your leaves, you know that you're overwatering. If it feels cold and wet, that's overwatering. If it feels just deflated, it shouldn't feel mushy. It should feel just deflated, a little bit wrinkly on the bottom, you know it's time to water. And you can do that by feeling all of your succulents leaves. You know, you want to feel the bottom. As long as the bottom's nice and plump, you know you're good and you don't have to water. Now this soil's wet because we treated with neem oil. It's summertime, the bugs are out, the spider mites are out, the aphids are out. So we soaked all our pots down with neem oil, 2 tablespoons per gallon of water in a gallon jug, and then mixed it up with some Dawn dish soap, a little 1/4 teaspoon, just squirt it in there, and then we doused all the soil down. Now you want to do that when it's time to water. You don't want to like give extra water. So wait till it's time to water your succulents, and then you can go ahead and douse them down with the neem oil and treat for bugs. I usually stay on a preventative treatment once every 5-7 days with my succulents. Then out in the garden is a little bit different. Let's go over on the other side and check some more succulents out. So these have been getting so big. So on the left here is my Graptopedilum paraguaysi or something like that. And you can see how much she's been growing. She has her color. All the colors are starting to pop out of these. As you can see, she has like a purplish tint, and they're growing really big. So she trails over this pot. A little update for you guys. Let's try to get a hold of her for you so we can see what we're doing here. You can see how much she's actually grown and taken over this pot. I mean, this is crazy. She's so happy. We know she's doing really good in the terracotta, and that is just the difference between terracotta and plastic. Plastic tends to rot out a little bit. Now this has been in plastic its whole life, but I watched the watering and it's really root bound. This is a California Sunset hybrid, and I love it. She's just been growing so well for me. She's doing really good. And the bigger leaves your succulent are, like the thicker they are and the bigger they are, the less watering you're gonna have to do. The less infrequent waterings you're gonna need. As long as those leaves are nice and plump at the bottom there, you know you're good to go. So let me pull a leaf off for you so you can see. This is a nice plump leaf. When you squeeze it, it shouldn't be, you know, mushy. It shouldn't turn color. If it turns dark, you know you're overwatering or the roots are rotting out and it's not sucking up adequate water. So you need to check the soil in the soil. We've done a lot of videos on root rot and fixing it. I'll try to grab them to post them below for you. But this is what your leaf should look like. And you can propagate this. You don't have to pull your leaves off. I just kind of wanted to show you guys what you should be feeling for. As long as you feel those bottom leaves and they feel nice and firm, they don't squish, you see they're not wrinkling, they're nice and firm, you're good to go. That means you're watering correctly. Now you can wait till you start losing leaves at the bottom and they turn nice and crispy. You know, if they're dying off and they're crispy, here we have a little crispy leaves on this guy. See those crispy leaves? That means we're watering correctly. This was overwatered. I transferred it into a little container. I didn't water for about a week. I let them reroot, and then we're good to go now. I'm gonna leave them in here until they get a little bigger, and then we're gonna transfer in some terracotta pots. We got a lot of terracotta coming because all these plastic containers that you see, everything left that's in plastic that's left, we're gonna be transplanting. We're getting them out of there. Summertime is just a killer here in Florida, and everything tends to rot out and die. And that's why, you know, they're not getting the right water. They're staying wet for too long. The humidity we have is just absolutely outrageous. So they really like to be under here shaded. They like to be in the terracotta and just protected a little bit. If you guys need any help on growing a succulent specifically, let me know. I'd love to do a video for you. We're gonna have a lot more here to come from the garden on succulents and just other things we're planting out in the garden. I'm so sorry about that noise, you guys. I'm gonna go for now because I don't want to be yelling in the camera, but thank you so much for coming by, and I'll see you next time out in the garden. Bye-bye.